Osiris.
Good morning, everybody. It is March 9th. I am back here with you. We have the drop going at least a few days a week at this point. Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. That might change. We might do it more often. I'm just experimenting here. I hope everyone's enjoying what they're hearing and seeing if you're watching the video version. Let me know what you think. Let me know what we can do differently, better, what you want me to cover. I'm very open to that because we're just trying to build a new show here. So appreciate everybody tuning in. All right, I'm continuing this Women's History Month Pioneers. Today, not going in chronological order, of course, because today I want to talk about Beyonce, incredible artist who now has the record for Grammy wins with 32. Not only is she amazing as a singer, performer, songwriter, she's also pushing new boundaries, like in her most recent album, Renaissance. And as many of you might know, Renaissance pays homage to the LGBTQ plus community and the Black, Latino, and queer pioneers of dance music. It's also inspired pop-up dance parties around the world, viral dance challenges, and a bunch of fan remixes that even caught Jay-Z's attention, further highlighting this communal aspect that Beyonce hoped to foster with the album. She's just incredible and continues to push boundaries and to reinvent herself, and I just think it's really notable and amazing, from Destiny's Child to here and beyond. So thanks, Beyonce, and we'll keep doing some of this. Relatedly, there's a podcast from NPR's Throughline, an episode called Dance Yourself Free, which kind of draws a line from Beyonce's Renaissance to Chicago's house music origins. It's a really great listen. I like when podcasts go deep and try to shine a light on these music stories that even big fans might not know. Of course, I like the music ones in particular, but this one is really fun. The show starts with a quote that's, I'll just read from it right now. Ever since Beyonce's Renaissance dropped last summer, house music has found its way back to mainstream audiences, prompting some to ask, is house back? But the truth is, it never went away. Born out of the ashes of disco in the underground clubs of Chicago by Black queer youth in the late 1970s and 80s, house music has been the continued soundtrack of parties around the world and laid the groundwork for one of the most popular musical genres in history, electronic dance music. And yet, the deeper you dig into the origins of house music, the more clear it becomes that the history of house, like the history of rock and roll, is a complicated tale of Black cultural resistance. Really cool. That's just the beginning. It's a great story. It starts with an anecdote that many of you might be familiar with the blowing up of boxes of disco records at a Chicago White Sox game. That's a story that I've heard before, but kind of how the disco era receded and how this house music came up in Chicago. It's just a fascinating listen, and I'd totally recommend it. All right, I'm going to continue on this theme. There is a new benefit concert called Love Rising happening in Nashville. Try and counter some of the extreme anti-LGBTQ plus legislation that has been passed in Tennessee. Sheryl Crow, Jason Isbell, Brittany Howard, Hozier, and more will perform in a benefit concert in Nashville on March 20th. Tickets go on sale today. I'm sure there'll be a way to live stream, to donate. I'm obviously, or maybe not obviously, I'm a fan of this using music to inspire some activism, especially around these totally extreme lunatics who are passing legislation to try to limit the civil rights of important people, because everyone's important. Okay, lastly, you can check Jambase for all this stuff. There's a link in the show notes, but festivals. Just this week, we've heard about new or updated lineups from Summer Camp, Catbird, Sound on Sound, Rye Bread Music and Arts, and more. There's so many festivals. A new episode of Inappropriate Happiness with Karina Reichman and Isaac Sloan will drop tomorrow, and we'll dive into some of these festivals. It's interesting seeing Goose, Tab, and a bunch of other artists really going hard on festivals. And, I don't know what people think about that. I think festivals are fun, and I think a lot of people look forward to going to festivals. On the other hand, do we think that these festival dates are taking away from, headlining dates where we might be able to see these bands in more depth? Obviously, we have it's not our choice as music fans, but curious about what people's thoughts are on that. But there's a lot of festivals, and Jambase does a good job of organizing these so that you don't have to try to keep them all in your head like I've been trying to unsuccessfully. All right, so tomorrow I'm going to come back with some music recommendations from the community, things people have been listening to. So stay tuned for that, and thank you so much for supporting us. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Osiris.